Perfect. So I just want to welcome anyone who may be watching the live stream. This is Ellen Shapiro, and this is our class today on Qigong for beginners. And we'll start the class in, a minute or two. People are not on yet through Zoom. And if you're curious about Qigong, please enjoy the live stream here today and then come sign up for the class. And then you can ask questions and be more interactive with me there. So we'll get started in a minute.
Bring your host back again. I'm going to be leaving. Michael is going to assist you. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Just get my water's ready. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Morning.
Hello. This is Ellen Shapiro. We're going to start our Get Set Up, Qigong for Beginners class in a minute. So we're just giving people time to come in. And it's optional, but I just want to invite people, you may want to experiment with practicing in a chair. It's done standing, but sometimes people want the chair, and sometimes I'll also suggest it for certain warm-ups. So if you have a sturdy chair or folding chair, just keep it nearby, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that when the class starts.
Good morning, Ellen.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, I think we should get started here. Maybe just give one more minute. And just a greeting from Michael, our TA from Get Set Up, our teaching assistant. And you can see the notes in the chat. So I'll start the recording in a second. And if you want the recording from this class, you do have to request it, and you just send an email to the address that is shown in the chat. So I'll mute everybody's sound out. All right, very good. Let me start the recording and we'll start our class. All right. Yes. All right, this class is being recorded. Again, I'm Ellen Shapiro, your guide for this Qigong for Beginners class today on Thursday, the 15th of April, which used to be a big, terrible day for me in my former life as a tax accountant. And this year, it's not even, the deadline was changed, so it's not even a bad day for anybody, really. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this Qigong for Beginners class is take you through a couple of introductory slides just to orient you to Qigong. Some of you have been coming to my class for a while, so that won't be new, but for others of you, this may be just new information. And it's helpful to understand, like, why do I teach the way I teach, and what is this really all about? So yeah, so we are being recorded, and if you have any questions or challenges around Zoom technical stuff, type a message in the chat and Michael will assist you. So I'm going to start try and share the screen and show the slides. Of course, it doesn't matter how prepared I am in advance. I always have to go through this whole rigmarole here. Here we go. Okay. Screen share. Okay, and one more thing. All right, good. So Qigong for Beginners, just a little bit about me. So as I mentioned, I used to be an accountant, and then I changed my whole life and my whole career to becoming first an energy healer, which I still do, and teaching movement. I also teach EFT, or emotional freedom technique, and I work with women on empowerment, taking care of themselves. I grew up in New York City, and I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico, so that was a huge move for me across the country. No regrets. I love New York, but I'm very happy to be here. And why I love doing this is because I love teaching. I love sharing from my own life experience, and most of all, teaching people simple ways to empower themselves, take care of themselves, to feel healthier, have more energy, just be more of who you are in a more relaxed way, and ultimately enjoy life more. I don't know if you've heard the saying that health is wealth, and anyone who's had a health challenge knows how important it is. So health and well-being is my thing, and I love to share that. And I'm sure most of you are very familiar with Get Set Up. Stop that. Oops. Back. So Get Set Up is here to teach you useful skills and to learn from others like yourself, older people with life experience, to empower you to have a better life, do wonderful things. And I just want to invite you, I think, I'm not looking at the gallery view, but I think most of you have your cameras on. And if you don't, please feel free. It's just an invitation. You don't have to. Sometimes people feel shy, but really we're not, especially when the movement starts, like people are focused on me, they're not looking at what you're doing. And it just creates more of a sense of community. You can request the recording after class, as mentioned, and it's the address, that email address is in the chat. And again, for anyone who is watching the live stream and is not registered for this class, the best way to get the benefits is to sign up for the class. Then you're really in the class, you can ask questions, and you're less of a like watching this on the screen and more like you're in the class. Of course, if you're watching on the live stream, just practice along with us and get a taste of it for yourself. Get Set Up is not commercial. We don't get paid to promote anything specific. Okay. And what do we do in this class? So the goal is really to introduce you to Qigong and what is it, where does it come from, why practice it, who can benefit, some of the basic principles that are involved with Qigong, and simple Qigong that you can try at home. And that is the goal. So you might be thinking, like, what, even right now, just for yourself, what made you sign up? What's making you curious about Qigong? What benefits do you hope to receive from it? So what is this strangely spelled word, Qigong? And sometimes you'll see it spelled without the Q, which is what kind of throws people's minds because we don't have words spelled like this in English. Sometimes it's spelled Chigong, and that's how it's pronounced. So it's Qigong. And what it is an ancient healing art and a form of movement, meditative movement from China. Qigong is actually one of the 4 pillars, foundational pieces of Chinese medicine. It's not just, like, you might not think of yoga as medicine, but Qigong is part of Chinese medicine. It's even been practiced in hospitals there, where if someone is really sick and can't move and they're in bed, the doctors and nurses and the staff will come and practice Qigong around their bedside and transmit the healing energy to them. So it's pretty amazing, really. So what is the word? The word is from the Chinese, and the Qi refers to your vitality, your life energy. It's your healing power. It's really, if we could think of it as electricity that fuels us. I don't like to always use mechanical images because we're not machines, but we understand, most people understand that if I use that, like, you get in a car, you have to turn, get the electrical system going. Well, the Qi is our version of the electrical system in the body. Gong is the cultivation, building, or the work of the Qi. So if you put the words together, it's about building and cultivating your vital force. Oops, what happened there? Okay, so, oops, stop that. So who can practice Qigong and who can get a benefit? The answer is if you can move, you can do Qigong. And you can get benefits even in a chair. I think I'm going to see. Oh, excuse me. So Qigong is very gentle. It's low impact. And the beauty of it is, like, for me, I injured myself at the gym. And so I couldn't do any kind of high impact. My knee was really bad. I could barely lift my foot from the curb, like from the street up on the curb, like a few inches. It was very painful. And as soon as I started to recover, I started looking around for something I could do. I couldn't do yoga. I couldn't go to the gym. I could barely walk. And somebody said, try Qigong. You can do it in a chair. So it gives you overall improves your health and gives you more energy. It also boosts your immune system, which I know we're all concerned about. and balances your emotions. So it can help with anxiety and just general stress, which we've certainly had a lot of it lately. The benefits, like typically people say, I feel calmer and more relaxed. My mind got quieter, but I also have more energy. And it helps you recover, it's like my example, from an injury or from illness or stress. So Qigong is for you if any of that appeals to you. And obviously it does, or you wouldn't be here, right? And we are in good company. We are following the ancient traditions, which are in China, Qigong and Tai Chi, which is similar. It's a little different. It's where you move your feet more in Tai Chi, and it looks more like dance. Qigong is more stationary in one place. But both of these are the exercise that people over 50 do. It's just considered a normal part of life. So, all right, let's keep going. So, as I said, Qigong is part of Chinese medicine. So the same principles apply in Qigong that apply to Chinese medicine. One of the basic ideas is that when this qi, the energy, is flowing freely in the body, that gives us more health. When the qi is stuck or stagnant is often the word used in Chinese medicine, we might have pain, we might have limited range of motion. Overall, if our qi is not flowing freely, we may be depressed or just not have a lot of get up and go. So another principle in Qigong is grounding, moving from your roots. And so that's about feeling your feet like connected to the floor and a sense of being connected to the earth, to the place you're standing in, which gives you some stability and it enables you to be more calm. So if you think about a day where you're rushing, you're kind of up in your head, you're distracted, maybe you just have a lot going on, you're probably not going to be that grounded. So that means things are going to like affect you more. Like right now in Santa Fe, New Mexico, we have so much wind in the spring. I mean, it's been blowing for 3 days. It's not like a tornado, but it's wind all the time. And there's this feeling of like, if you go outside, it's just like you're being blown around. So that's just really a metaphor for like how important it is to feel grounded and not knocked around by what happens in our lives, including even the wind. So moving with awareness. And so that's about paying attention to not only what you're doing, but how you're doing it. Am I relaxed? Am I holding my breath? Okay, we're doing this movement overhead, or like sometimes we might do this and here where I have my arms in front of me. And the tendency is, you know, when you lift your arms, your shoulders go up, but then you relax into it. And when you're just learning, you might not even be realizing, oh, wait a minute, why are my shoulders up here? I'm adding unnecessary tension. Let me relax. It not only feels better, but it's better for the flow of qi. So that's about the last principle, which is relaxation. And the 80% rule is about going to 80% of your capacity on something. Most, like in the gym or other kinds of training, they'll tell you, you know, go for it, go 100%, go give it 110%. And there's definitely a time and place for that, but that's not the philosophy in Qigong, which is more about we contain the energy, the body can stay more relaxed, and then we don't have this, it's not even a mental thing, it's more of a body reflex that's protecting us from injury. So when we know that we're in a safe space and we're not going to overextend ourselves, the body relaxes and it can get more benefit out of what we're doing. So you know, we're in Chinese medicine. It's a whole different framework than what we're used to. And these are some of the basic stances. So I usually cover some or all of these in the class. And this is a beginner's class, which I'm teaching twice a week, and people are coming back to the class. So it's not always exactly the same. What I'm teaching you are some basic things and then varying it up so you learn different things. And so the grounded stance, rooting into the earth, and kidney 1 refers to, let's see if I can find it right here. That refers to an acupuncture point. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Yes, I can. It's on the bottom of your feet. Let's see if I can get the image up close. So you see here's the bottom of the foot, and it's right in the middle, just under the ball of the foot in the middle. And that is the beginning of the kidney meridian. That's kidney 1 or bubbling spring. And so sometimes we massage into that point, or I might just say, okay, feel that point, ground, send your roots down from that point all the way down into the floor. And I'll just teach you the rest as we go. So I think that's the last slide for now. Let's see what's next. Yeah, okay, this is just the summary that you'll get after class. So let's all come up to standing. I'm going to switch my camera and stop the share. Okay, good, all right. Okay, very good. Yeah, you can see me. Let me change my view to speaker view. And for all of you, you want to have your setup, your Zoom setup for speaker view, which is seeing me large and seeing yourself small. If you're seeing me in a small box, you're not going to be able to really see what I'm doing. So change that setting on your side to speaker view. Okay. So let's move into our Qigong class here today. Well, we're already in it, but we'll move into the movement part. And I like to start the class with a simple bow. And this is like if we were in a space together, in a room together. It's just a nice feeling like entering the practice space. And it's an invitation also, if you haven't already done it, to eliminate distractions so you can really focus. So phone ringers off, other sound off, letting people know in your space, hey, I'm doing Qigong, could you not interrupt? If they have to, of course they will, but yeah. Okay, and then the bow just says, we are now entering the practice space. So welcome to practice. And we begin with some warm-ups. So if you always want to do some warm-ups before any movement, even walking, it's good to just warm up your feet and ankles, which we'll do. And for Qigong, besides the fact that you want to have your joints warmed up so that the synovial fluid is working, you can just move more freely. It also prevents injury. And in Chinese medicine, it helps the qi flow better when the joints are open, because the joints are where, something travels up your arm, it could get stuck in your elbow. We want to keep flowing from the hand all the way up through the body. Okay, so, all right, my feet are just telling me, let's start here today. So first, let's do our grounding, and I'm going to push the camera back a teeny bit more. Down. It's a little bit of a challenge to get my whole body so you can see. All right, so standing like this with your feet parallel. I prefer barefoot. You can be in socks. It's better than wearing shoes, but if you have orthotics, you need the support of your shoes. Keep them on. And for support, I stand on a yoga mat on a carpet because I want a little cushioning. I've got a hard floor here. So whatever setup works for you, and making sure, of course, that you're not, if you're in socks and you're on a hardwood floor, not good because it's slippery. So just make sure you have traction under your feet. And here's the basic stance. My feet are parallel and they're about hip width apart. And a lot of women think hip width is like that, and my hips are here. They're not out here. So yeah, we just, we have wider hips. So, okay, let's just ground. So just take a minute and lift your body up, like lift the crown of your head up. And then send your energy, like imagine you could just send energy down inside your body. It's going down through your legs and it's going down through the lower legs into your feet and right through that point that I showed you, right? Like, so here's like, if this is the ball of my foot here, right in the middle, just below it, drawing the energy down to that point. And then imagine like you have like a tree sending roots down to the earth. You're going to send energy down through those tree roots all the way down. Bend your knees a little bit. We don't lock the legs like that ever in Qigong. And just feel. See if you can feel. You can spread your toes a little wider. You can lift your toes and then plant them down. Feel the bottom of your feet. Yeah. And let's come into Dantian settling. So left hand below the belly button, right on top. And this is a simple pose or standing posture in Qigong. And so we're settling the energy here. This is the lower Dantian is the source of our physical energy. And you might have heard in other classes, they talk about moving from the core. Well, that's moving from here. And just see how this simple stance can affect you. And notice, like right now, I can feel like my body's interesting. It's kind of just rocking back and forth a little bit, just sort of on its own. So just experiment with that and feel as you come forward a little more weight over the toes and then back on the heels. And then again, let it just settle right into that place under the ball of the foot. Notice also your shoulders. Again, if you sit a lot or you work at a computer a lot, which I do a fair amount, especially right now, the shoulders will tend to be forward a bit and the neck forward. Roll them back and down. And again, we're not trying to be ramrod straight like that military posture, like way back like that. It's more relaxed, but it's also not slouching or, like that, which is sometimes our default. And so again, I was talking earlier about moving with awareness. And when you practice Qigong regularly, become aware of certain postural patterns. So one of mine, and this is common, I'll just point it out to you, is that the feet are parallel, and when we come down, it's important that the knees are bending straight over the feet. And my pattern is to be a little bit more like that. See how the knees are going in? And that's not good. That puts some strain here. So you just have to be conscious of that. Like, okay, are my knees going out over my big toe, my first toe, second toe there? Yeah. And then adjusting. So I could see I was doing that. No, I want to be more like that. And you might think, okay, these are small things, but they do make a difference in the practice. So let's just warm up our feet a little bit more. So lift the heel, and I'm just pressing right into that kidney 1 ball of the foot point as I turn my heel, my knee, and even the inside of my thigh. This is a really good combination warm up. Okay, then reverse the circle, go the other way. All right, and then, so when you're doing this, it's a little bit of, it works on your balance too. So make sure you're really feeling the roots in that standing foot as you lift the heel. and turning this one. Other way. Okay, and some of you were not on the class yet, but I mentioned using a chair, and I do recommend that for this, or you can use, like, this is like a countertop. I could stand behind here and use that to lean on. And you don't have to, but this is good if you know, for feeling secure with your balance. So I'm going to take this foot and I'm going to press, let's see, back so you can see me better. I'm taking the top of the foot and just very gently. So most of my weight is going to be on this foot, and I bend the knee. And you can rotate the ankle around. So we're stretching the top of the foot. It's a place we don't often stretch, and it's really important. This will keep your ankles flexible. And just gentle. And then stretch it back now. So now my heel is coming back down. And this is a stretch for my calf. And it's fine to bend your front knee as much as you need to, or be up here. Do one more stretch like that. And if any one of you has ever experienced plantar fasciitis, I've had it 3 times. It's extremely painful. So to prevent it, keeping your feet and ankles and calves flexible. So now on my other foot, again, gently pressing the top of the foot. I can't come down very far. Breathing, try and relax into it. No force, and now stretch it back the other way, and the heel comes down towards the floor. So this leg is fairly straight here. And if your heel doesn't come down all the way, don't force it. Just come to where you can. All right, and shake all that out. Shake it out. Good. And let's do some semicircles with the hips today to open them up. So I'm a little wider here. I'm not super wide like that. And I'm just going to go, so I'm going towards the right, back, and to the left. And now I'm not doing a full circle. I'm going to go back the other way. So it's just a little different. Do a couple of those. So go to the side, back, around, and then reverse. Let's do one more in that direction. Okay, now we'll do the reverse. So I started by going to the right. Now I'm going to go to the left. And don't worry, if you're doing exactly what I'm doing, it's fine, just do the other side. Start going the other direction. So I'm in the front, I go to the left, I go back like that, and then I reverse it. All right, good, good. Let's do a little bit more for our shoulders. So first just hunch them up, let them go. One more hunch. And this time we'll add a little bit for the neck here. So now as I hunch my shoulders, my chin is going to come forward like that. So, and then I tuck the chin back as I lower the shoulders down. Let's do 2 more of this. Inhale, holding your breath for a second, sticking that chin out. Exhale, roll it all back in and down. One more time. So you might even start to feel a little bit more opening there. Okay, let's open up our rotator area of the arms and also our breath. So take an inhale as you stretch up, just right up to the top and back and around. And we'll do it just pretty slowly. And if your range of motion is limited, you just may be doing that. So I forgot to say it. I say it in every class. Adapt these movements to your body. So if something I'm doing, your body is like, no way, then you just watch and you imagine yourself doing it. If you can do it, but it's too much, the way I'm showing it, do it smaller. So, okay, inhale. For those who can, let's do almost, we're not going to lock the arm, we're going to keep a little bend, but really see if you can stretch here. Bring it back and around, and let's go the other way. Inhale to the back, coming back down. And let's do the same on the other side. Inhale up, circling that hand around. One more. And then let's go the other way now. So going back, inhale up. And they can feel pretty different, side to side or these two front to back movements. Yeah, and then let's do a little bit for opening this way. So, all right, inhale, bend your knees, open the arms. Exhale, bring them back like that. Inhale, out, exhaling back. All right. Let's just gently stretch our fingers and our wrists. And I'm just going to show you a simple movement that just helps to release stress, or if you've got like a nagging thought, you just like, okay, I don't want to keep thinking about that. I want to let that go. This is fun and simple. So you just kind of, you're bringing your hands up like this, take an inhale. The hands are just sort of gently flicking, and then we come up and we exhale. So again, kind of spiraling up the body, we're clearing away worries, tensions, things like that, and then exhale through your nose. It's like a snort. Let's do one more. Yeah. So if your loved one is driving you crazy one of these days, just, maybe not to their face, but go in the other room or step outside, go in the bathroom and just, you'll be surprised how much you can just, simple things like that can change your mood. All right, so check in any other warm-ups that we need right now. All right, let's just warm up our energy a little bit more. So rub your hands together. And one aspect of Qigong is self-healing, not only through movement, but through using the Qi. So we have these energy centers in our palms. We rub them together, and then we put that on our body somewhere. We're going to put them right here. Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah. So we're down here. And there was a comment in the chat, and yes, I agree. The Qigong is simpler to learn than Tai Chi. And that's, people ask me, well, do you teach that? And it's very beautiful. I love it too. I love to watch it. But my teacher taught us a few Tai Chi moves, and there were too many sequences for me, so I like this better too. And everyone has their preference. Okay, so we're going to come up on the right, down on the left, and we're circling around, just around the belly button here. And just nice, for now, just nice, soothing, easy, warming up. And then we'll go a little faster. So what we're doing is we're activating this energy center where the Qi hangs out and inviting it to move into the body more freely. So stop there, and we'll just do a little bit kind of playfully tapping. It's not slapping, don't be hard. kind of like, hey, wake up in there. Wake up, Chi. Good. All right, letting that go. So, quick time check here. Good, good. All right, and drinking water is not officially part of Qigong, but you want to be hydrated. And I'm just somebody that seems to need to drink water through class. So feel free if you need that. So in this Qigong for Beginners class, we've just done some warm-ups. And I'm just going to tune in here for a second. There's a lot of different things that I can teach you. Okay, so I'm going to show something here. I actually have not taught this particular thing in this class before. And these are some Qigong movements. It's from a sequence of Qigong. So somebody asked me in one of the classes, and I thought it was a really great question. Somebody was used to like a routine. She said, are there routines in Qigong? And there are many, many sequences of Qigong movements, thousands of them. We're not going to attempt to learn thousands. I don't know thousands of them either, but this is from a set of Qigong movements called Dragon and Tiger. That is pretty simple to learn, and I'm going to show you two of the movements. And each kind of Qigong, it's all about building the Qi, but some is different. The focus and attention is different. So Dragon and Tiger works a lot with the liver and the lung meridians. And it also works with the energy pathways in the body. So what you're doing is you're literally with your hands, you're tracing an energy pathway in the body. So the meridians are these energy pathways. That's how the energy travels. Give you an example. I mean, I'm not an acupuncturist, so I don't know exactly where all the meridians, like I can't really just show that to you. But, like the spleen meridian, for example, runs up and down the body. And so in some of the Qigong, we do a movement like that, and we come down like that, and we're actually working in the spleen pathway. So let me show you some movements from Dragon and Tiger, just two of them today. Okay, so we start. I'm going to take, it doesn't actually matter on this one which hand you start with. This is my right. I bring it up, like just kind of up this pathway in the body. And let's just practice that. So this pathway, it might sound a little mysterious. You can't see it. If you are somebody who's very sensitive to energy, you may feel it. Most people don't actually feel the meridians, the energy flowing. It usually takes some practice to become aware, but it doesn't, in a way, feeling it is nice, but what we're doing by moving our hands and our body in a certain way is we are directing the flow of Qi. So just like when we rubbed our hands together, we're activating the Qi, these energy centers in the palms, and then we directed it by putting it like that. So now we're doing it a little different way. So this hand is just coming up like that. So my palm is up, and the pathway is kind of right, sort of, here's the middle of my body, so it's sort of on the side. Basically, it's coming up around my nipple, kind of like there. And when I come up to the arm, I turn the hand. So right now, this is a preliminary to the actual movement. So just do this with me. So by moving your hand this way, again, whether you feel it or not, you're directing the energy flow in your body to come up and circulate down. And then let's try it with the other hand. Same idea. We come up to here, we come up to about the armpit, and then we turn. Okay, so let me first demonstrate one repetition of this movement. So This right hand is coming up, it turns, and then my left hand comes up, and they're alternating. And I didn't show you the complete, so it comes up like that, it comes down, and then it moves out. So here I'm doing it on the left, coming down, and it comes out to the side and back. So now, if you like, try it with me, lifting this right hand up, comes right down, moves out like that. Okay, let's see if we can, let's do with the left. Up, down, and out. Once more. So notice how the palm changes. Palm is up, and then it's down. Okay, now maybe you've already guessed, we're going to synchronize these. So first the right is going to come up and start to move down. And as this hand moves down, this one moves up. So first, when you're learning, it can be a lot to coordinate both of these. And the other piece, if you can manage all of this, fine. If not, just stay with the arms, is that as this hand comes up, the heel comes up too. And as that hand comes down, the heel comes down, and I'm lifting. So. And, you know, there's a lot of, it's not like super hard, but there's a lot of details, right? You know, it's a fair amount of coordination here. So just do your best with it. And I'm not really moving my hips, but they are, you know, because my legs are going up and down, I do have to move a little bit side to side. But basically the torso and the hips stay where they are. And now close your eyes for a minute and just let's simplify it. So just to feel the energy if you can. So let's just do a simple version. So hands just coming up and down. Don't do the feet. Don't do anything else. Close your eyes and see if you can, what that feels like. Yeah, good. Good, good. So again, this is part of this practice of moving with awareness. It's just to make a mental note to yourself like, oh, that was interesting, or my breath is flowing better, or just notice how that was for you. And I'm going to show you another form in this set. Dragon and Tiger has 7 different movements in it, and a typical Qigong set will have 5 to the longest one I know is 10 movements. And that one I'm teaching in the other class, the Get Moving with Qigong class. Okay, so this is another movement from the Dragon and Tiger series. So start here and just watch me for a minute. I'm going to come around like that. So my hands just coming back, nothing fancy. They come back forward and they do that. So try it with me. Hands come to the back, they come forward, and it's not like really hard, but it's you know, like, again, kind of that feeling of flicking that I showed you before. So inhale to the back, forward, and down. And so this is called the belt meridian. This is another energy pathway in the body. And, you know, it's right in our abdominal organ area. And it definitely helps with digestion, among other things. So it's called the belt meridian because that's where belt would be, right, like right there. Okay, so the other part is the foot movement. So I come up, so far so good. And here I lift my heels and come down, step back. Inhaling like that, lift and drop. And it can be very low. It doesn't have to be, I'm showing you a big movement so you can really see it, like up here and down. For you, it could just be up like that and down. Again, listening to your body. Okay, inhale. Moving the energy through the channel with our intention and with our hands. And now exhale. Actually, when we come back here, that's when we lift the heels, right? And now come forward and drop. Inhale. Let's slow it down a little. One more. So anytime we do a movement like that, a downward movement with our hands, or as we're doing up with our feet and down, what we're doing is we're releasing stagnation or stuck energy. So that's the beauty of this dragon and tiger form especially. So check our time here, see what else we have. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a little bit from the other series that I'm teaching in the Get Moving class, which is called Morning Medical. And even that class is in the afternoon. So the title, Morning Medical, I think I'm going to start calling it something different because people are saying, do you only do that in the morning? And actually can do it anytime. It happens to be called that because that is when my teacher was practicing that form. So let me show you from there a couple of movements. Okay, so bend your knees. And we'll start in standing at stake. This is a standing meditation. So bring your arms around and like you're hugging a tree. So your arms are rounded, shoulders down. Get your good stance, feel your feet, get your grounding, relax those shoulders even more. And just breathe. The hands are facing at the level of the chest here. If that is difficult, you can do it here or even down here. See if you can just feel your sense of dignity and calm. You're just here. And then we transition into the actual movements with this movement. And I've got my thumb and middle finger. Lift, release. A little bit more. We're lifting the chi up in the body. It tends to fall down due to gravity over time. And now, the third time, soft hands releasing. And now notice how the position of my hands is fairly flat. It's not rigid like that, but I'm moving across a flat surface here, out to here, and I'm gathering back. I also add a little sink in the legs as I come out with my hands. And as the hands come back, the legs rise. This form is called Calm the Waters. And if you wanted just a very simple, basic way to try Qigong on your own, I would highly recommend this form because it's pretty simple. and also very powerful. So this is about calm, creating calm, releasing stress. You get more grounded as you sink down. And we're also doing some healing work for the kidneys, which are the organ that are like the mother of all the other organs. Your kidneys are very busy supporting everything else that your body does. So just like a mother who needs some support herself while she's giving to her children and her family, that's what we do in this form. We're just, okay, here's some beautiful healing chi going into my kidneys. Yeah. Sinking down and feeling that energy of calm. So even though we're working at this level, imagine the feeling. I'll just pause for a minute. Let me show you something. So imagine you're looking at your friend or family member, or just a loved one. Their face is all like wrinkled up with worry and stress. And what if you could take your hands and just smooth that out? That's the feeling that we have in this form. So let's do it with that. And maybe it's your own wrinkled brow or your own worried self that you're doing this for, and that's good too. Okay, so let's just do two more with that feeling, like, it's okay. Okay. Right here, right now, we are all safe. And then take a minute to absorb it. Put your hands over your belly. Close your eyes. And as you take in the benefits of the practice by doing that, it's like, like after you take a nice, cool, refreshing glass of water, it's nice to just savor it. So savor the chi. Yeah. Good. All right, I'm being guided to do a couple of more kidney forms with you. So opening your eyes again. And the kidneys, like I said, they're doing a lot of work in the body. And we're talking here about the kidneys as in the physical organs in your low back there. We're also talking about the kidney meridian and the kidney energy from Chinese medicine. So that is the water element, and it provides a sense of calm, really, when our kidneys are balanced. And so we can support the kidneys deal with fear. So when the kidneys are out of balance, and it's connected with your water intake too. So I have noticed for myself, and maybe you have too, is once in a while, it doesn't happen very often, if I go to sleep and I'm really dehydrated, I just haven't drank enough water through the previous day, or maybe I just was very active and I just didn't, take in enough water, and I go to sleep, I'll often have a nightmare. And I finally realized, okay, that's the kidney deals with fear. And it's like, I wake up and I'm like super thirsty. So, I drink some water, and maybe I might even do this little kidney massage that we're going to do right now. So the kidneys, govern a lot of things. And also a lot of stimulation. If you drink a lot of coffee, or, sodas have stimulants in them, or a lot of sugar, that also depletes the kidneys. So let's give the kidneys some love. Rub your hands together. And we're just going to do a little kidney. It's not even really a massage. I'm just holding my hands here. So here's my waist. The kidneys are usually above the waist. For some people, they're a little higher. or a little lower, but just right above the waist usually. Okay, let's do one more. Rub the palms together. Bring them back. And let's do some kidney tapping just with the back of the hand, just lightly. If you want, you can take soft fists and just go over the whole area here. Your low back, your sacrum, your buttocks, and your kidneys. So here we're using, basically it's a kind of tapping or light acupuncture, not puncture, acupressure, stimulating these areas of the body. And that brings chi there as well as literal circulation of blood. Okay, so let's do another Qigong form. And again, I'll show you from the back. Here are my hands forming this triangle, and they're resting here, kind of on my low back, the top of my buttocks. And if your arms are longer, you may be down a little lower, like that. And watch what I'm doing from here. So now I'm going to bring the backs of my hands against my body. I'm tilting back in my pelvis as the hands come forward. So now I'll show you what it looks like from the front. So that same gesture, back of your hands against your low back. Hands come forward along the body, come out like that. And now the arms are curved like I'm holding a big bowl. And I tilt my pelvis forward here a little bit. So a little bit like that. And we just relax into this. So this form is called receiving chi. So this is like we have this bowl and we're asking the universe, you know, the earth, the elements of life, fill my bowl, please nurture me. And don't strain this tilting. It may be very small, like I'm actually not going that far, but my body's like a little tentative, so I'm going to just do a little less of that tilt here. Okay, one more time. Backs of the hands coming up the back, circling around. We're also kind of working that belt meridian again here. And is it okay? Can you let yourself receive? We're so used to feeling like we have to earn the blessings or do something. Can we simply receive? Yeah, let that go. And let's do another. I'm just really going intuitively here. So let's rub our hands. And now I'm going to sit for a minute. I don't know why my back is hurting. So, and I didn't really talk much about practicing in the chair. Let me just show you. It's really pretty much the same. There's a couple of things. You're not obviously really moving your legs up and down. But other than that, it's pretty similar. Okay, so we're rubbing our hands, getting them warm. And let's put our hands over our eyes. And let your eyes just, they can be open or closed, but your hands are creating darkness over your eyes. See if you can relax everything else. Okay, let's do that again. So this is really healing for your eyes, and is especially good if you're doing a lot of computer work or anything else, reading. It's good for any kind of eye strain. One more time. The most important thing is that your eyes are in the darkness, so your lids can be open or closed. Good. And let me show you another movement. This helps for grounding. So if you are like, running around, stressed, too busy, distracted, you're like, okay, I feel kind of off balance, or my mind doesn't settle down. Here's a simple grounding you can do. One more time, rub the hands and take your palms on top of your head. So you're on your body, you can feel it. You're not pressing hard, but you feel the contact. And now coming down the whole front of your face. And it's okay, touching your chest, your belly, down onto your legs. And then reaching down as low as you can reasonably go. For some people, it will be your ankles or your feet or even the floor. And for some people, it would just be more like, your lower legs, and that's fine. Let's do that one more time, rubbing the palms. So this is a kind of grounding done with the palms. So. Yeah, good. Let me check our time and see if we have time for another Qigong form. Oh, wow. I lost track of time. So there is not really time. Let's just close the movement practice here with a simple bow, and I will stay on to answer questions and receive any shares that you have too about how you're feeling or anything else. So sorry about that. I just usually really right on the time, and I did run over, so I understand if anyone needs to leave. So questions or anything else you want to share? And I do want to, before we go into that, just invite you to come to my Get Moving with Qigong class if you want more today. It's at the end of the day. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern. And you're welcome to come to that as well if you want more. Or come to my other classes. I teach this Qigong for beginners on Monday and Thursday. And I teach the Get Moving with Qigong class on Tuesday and Thursday. Both of the classes are really mixed level, pretty much beginners. So you can come to either one. It's not, this is the beginner class, but that is not like really more advanced. I'm just teaching some different Qigong forms there, and I don't do as much introduction in the beginning. But you're welcome to come to either of those. And if you want to try, if you enjoy my energy, I teach a different kind of class called Ageless Grace on Wednesday and Saturday, and that's more playful music done to music done in a chair. And that's for brain-body health. So questions, anything else anyone wants to share? I know we're running over, but I'm happy to answer anything. And let me see what's in the chat. Well, it's a good question about the knees. Are you still here, Elise? Yeah. The main thing is, yeah, it's a good question. And the thing with the knees is making sure that you always do warm-ups. We really didn't do any knee warm-ups today, which is not typical of me. Warming up the knees, and you can just, one of the things you can do with any body part that is, difficult or, just sore, anything like that, is do this regularly. Rub your hands together and go put your hands right on that and rub all around. And that's really healing. Practicing Qigong with knee, if you have knee stuff going on, that is often an indication to practice in a chair, because a lot of what happens with the knees, we can have injuries, but in addition to that, if our thigh muscles or quad muscles are not that strong, Qigong will actually build those muscles over time. That helps stabilize the knee. So, everything is all connected. And the knee stuff is often a manifestation of either some kind of repetitive posture that is not really working for you, or like I think that's partly why I had a knee injury, is my thighs had gotten very weak. So, this will help, or anything like that. But it's a great question, and always being attentive and gentle with any part that is sore. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah, you're so welcome. And this is a practice, so you'll get more benefit if you come back and keep practicing with me, and you can practice with the recording.
I will be back.
Very good. Very good. All right, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and hopefully see you again in practice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye for now.